My thoughts on the Charlie Kirk situation. I don't know, dude. Every influencer, everybody must not react to everything that's trending. I don't know, dude. Action is powerful. You can never know until you're in it. That's the best place to think from when you're doing. If you have something you're supposed to work on, a book you're supposed to write, a business idea you're supposed to launch, and you're in the planning phase, let's try something different. Stop planning. Let's go to execution this morning. Let's start writing this morning. Let's start doing this morning. And then think while you're doing it. You'll be amazed. Apart from the fact that action defeats or kills fear, if your issue is not fear, if your issue is overthinking or over strategizing, or even strategizing, you're going to plan better when you start taking pieces of action. The reason is now you see better because you're inside the thing. Some of those real life editing that happens to the things we've done on paper, you can never get those without action, no matter how long you plan for. Then secondly, the second reason is inspiration comes in action if you're looking out for it. So if I have things I want to do right now, things I'm working on, or for example, what I'm doing right now, when it was in the planning phase, where I said, okay, every morning, come online, try to inspire you. Wake up in the morning, you see me, I'm having the workout session. And then you start something you like, something you decided you would do, whether it's sit-ups, whether it's mountain climbers, whether it is jogging, alongside myself, and we do it together as partners. There are a couple of other things. But then while I was on the ground, because I was now searching for answers, because I know what action can do. So getting inspiration, so getting messaging, so getting. So the same way, when you attack what you're supposed to do, what you plan to do with action, you'll be surprised. Especially while you're searching for it, you're to find answers, inspiration, and really find inspiration to it. Especially if you're an entrepreneur, if you're somebody who decides when they eat, if you're somebody whose job it is to feed themselves. You're the one who decides when you earn anything. If you're in that category of humans, you don't work a 9 to 5. You can't throw away any inspiration or any idea. You just try everything. It's a lyric in a Westlife song that says, "Cause who's to know which one you let go?" That's your talking about dreams. So for who is to know which one you let go would have made you complete? So he was saying, try every dream, try every instruction that comes to your mind, try all of it. That's God talking to you. I think the entrepreneur is God's direct messenger. That's what I think. Entrepreneurs are the ones that have made our lives easier. They're the ones who made mobile phones. They're the ones who made the chair we sit on. They're the ones who made the traffic lights. They're the ones who made everything. Entrepreneurs. The man who works in 95 never made anything. Probably they were on the team that finally produced, you know. But the man who got the idea and executed on it, the idea and the execution is purely on the entrepreneur. Of course, with the help of people who work 9 to 5s. So you can't look at how many ideas you already allowed to, plus myself, look at myself. So these are thoughts that I'm expressing. So want to, while we're acting, pay attention to inspiration. And when they drop during action, we act on them again. Do something about it. Do something about all of it, everything. Nobody will be inspired on your behalf. Sometimes you're not even reachable. Sometimes when people tell you things, you don't expect it, which is also a good thing. So means those other parts from which instruction can come, they are not as clear as the ones, this part. As an entrepreneur, your antenna is sharper than the regular 9 to 5 person, because you're already in communication with God. Maybe better. because you're completely unsafe. You're playing in a space where you are you don't know what's happening the next day. So you're a man who lives by faith. And since that's the case, you are in communication every minute with God. The difference now is if you have to be aware of it. And the awareness is that sensitiveness and action. Action. So you're already doing action, you're paying attention to see what comes to your mind. Then it comes to your mind, you act on it again. You have a beautiful year. I'm talking about the couple of months I will have left. By December, you'll be happy you did. So again, do your edits, do your cleanup, do your planning inside action. Then pay attention to instructions as well. And then act on those. Have you noticed that humans generally, it's as if we're excited to say sorry to somebody that lost somebody. We are motivated, quote unquote, to respect the dead, to honor the dead. We're motivated to, you know, we lose all our respect for people who are alive. And then when somebody dies, I've hardly ever heard anybody died and somebody said they were bad, or you are bad. Hardly. Especially if it's somebody you didn't know before the person died. Every time you hear this person that such a nice man, such a nice man, you know. But then in the next breath, you're talking down on somebody who is alive, who is somewhere that's not there, talking behind them, you know. And the dead man you're respecting is dead. The respect you're giving him in his death, he will never be aware of, you know. And there's nobody or in any book where somebody it was written that something should be done for the dead with regards to respect, you know, all of the contribution is here while you're alive. And everything you should receive is here as well. If the man has an afterlife that he has to deal with, that's for him. It's a journey he'll make alone. But while he's here with you on this journey we're doing together, called life, support him with words, support him with kind words in front of him and behind him. When he's dead, the energy we want to apply to honor the dead, to make a frame, to do all that, can also be sent to the right place, which is to the living. You respect the people that are alive. You celebrate the people that are alive. If you have to talk somebody, think about it first before you do it. You know, you pay more attention, of course, with self-awareness. Just say, Passion is a very important feature for living. Notice that human beings react. That's what human beings react to. You know, every time you're outside, every time you have to do something, saying apply passion is confusing because you're now pretending. So we can't have passion if we are not connected to the thing we're doing. So if it's possible, not everybody's privileged to make money doing what they love. I'm saying make money now because that is largely what adults do every waking hour. Every adult wakes up and thinks about how to bring food to the table and then goes to sleep. So a good part of what you do throughout the day while you're awake is trying to make money. So people who have locked in making money what they love just simply means if you see them at the execution point, there's a lot of passion going on. We find this a lot in music. In the music itself, you're playing an audio thing and it's doing something to you. You know, what has been transmitted through your body is the passion in the person when they made the music. And they've put it on a platform, wherever it is you are listening to it from. And they made it a couple of months ago, a couple of years ago. But every time you play the music, you still feel that emotion. You see it in art, people who paint. You see it in speaking sometimes. People who are gifted speakers. So it's not just again about loving what you do. That's important. Because when somebody loves something, you just see it. It's like when you love a woman. You know, when people started for the first time, that honeymoon window, you see a lot of expression of passion and love mixed together. It wanes after a while anyway, but see all that. So that's why loving it is important. But added to that is something you also have some talent around. You know, it's that's how I saw a poll where people were asked to choose if they had the opportunity to meet either Michael Jackson or Tupac. And the poll, Tupac won that poll. I was wondering, is this possible? That people will be given the option of meeting Michael Jackson or meeting Tupac, and people choose Tupac more than Michael Jackson. You know, I don't know Tupac so much, but from what we know, you know, um, one thing can be said about Tupac: passion. Everything he did with passion. On that, the fire of passion was burning. He had it on every single time. You know, that should be what I would credit that type of reaction from people to Tupac or Michael Jackson. That's something. But even Michael Jackson, why is Michael Jackson why does his name shine the light every time it's mentioned? Why? It's the same thing. He had some talent and what he was doing. He was making money doing what he loved to do. And every time he was on that stage, you could see. You look at that man when he's speaking every other time, he feels like he's a shy, introverted person until he's on that stage. Now he's everything you want to call him. You want to call him an if extrovert is a good thing, he is. If introvert is a good thing, he is. If energy is a good thing, he has. But see where he's speaking, whether it's his voice or not. But you see, it looks like he doesn't have strength. He's talking like he's going to. But when it's time to do what he knows how to do, he's everything you can think of. When you mix talent with passion. So it's important if you already working a job you don't like, and you have to do it every day because that's where the path you choose and it's a bit too late to pivot because you have 4 kids. What people call side hustles. Again, people go to try to make extra money on the side and still choose something you have nothing to do with. Now your life is driven purely by trying to eat. That is also not completely bad. But that is, instincts. We are one step ahead of animals because we live above instincts. Animals have instincts, so do we. So everybody has instinctually wants to eat to live. But human beings took it to the next level. So we are the masters of this civilization we have. We are the owners of everything because we can go beyond these things. So you can't live instinctually in survival mode for the rest of your life. You can't. So if you already have a side hustle, that's also like a 9 to 5. You have no connection to it. You're trying to make an extra money on the side. Find another side hustle again. That's the third one. But make sure it's around something you love. Find a hobby, even if it doesn't make you money. Find something where you express your human self fully while doing it. You feel different. And if you're just joining us, 1,000 push-ups, that's what we're doing today. We're counting down from 45. Do the maths on that. We're having about 1,030, something there about when we're done. You can join us. You can meet us when we're around 16 and it looks like the numbers are comfortable. You can start there and join us all the way to 1. If you joined us now, you're already on the live. You can also join us. You can start from 10, count down to 1. That's a lot of push-ups done. If you do that, you can start from 20, count down to 1. That's a lot of push-ups. 15, from 5, whatever it is that works for you. But it wasn't do push-ups. You can get your gear on and go and jog like you said you would do. You can do sit-ups, you can do mountain climbers. You know, just get some activity going this morning so that we get blood flowing. And there's a yoga component to working out because you're there by yourself. You're not talking, you're not using your phone. That's the first time you're not using your phone. You're not stimulating yourself. You're actually working on your body. So you're alone by yourself with your thoughts, you know. And then after a while, if you do it long enough, it clears your head. So you want to benefit from the physical health and mental health aspects of what we're doing. And we're here every day. We're doing this every day. So not just watch the stream, do something. Do your sit-ups, do your, as we go. I'm your partner now. Let's go. So I saw a Ricky Smiley post. I saw a Ricky Smiley post that the title said, Something like, I'm rephrasing now. We should all be careful. Please be careful. Something like that. I didn't even bother playing the video. Something you may just know me was talking about Charlie Kirk, the guy that was shot. You know. And the question would be, what popped up in my head immediately was, why we be careful about what? We should be careful so that what will happen? So that we'll live longer, so that what will happen? We've lived some life already from zero when we're born. What have we done with our lives? Why are we trying to live 10 years longer? Why are we trying to live 50 years longer? So that what will happen in that time? A lot of us are scared of death, but we're not even living. I don't think we have that permission to fear death. As though we want to do something, then do something. Let's do something. Let's live. Let's live. Something you said you do that thing. You know, you're shy by now, 2025. You're scared. When you've heard action attacks fear, you've heard it many times. Use the action, use it. It's a weapon that kills fear. You're bothered about what the next person will say. Up till now, by this time, and then you're scared of death at the same time. So why are you trying to be alive? You're trying to be alive to bother about what another person will say. Is that why you're trying to be alive? There is a the reason why that thing came to your mind is because it's your contribution to the world. Even if it's not, find out. Do it. Let us live. I expressed as a thought earlier. Everything we use, somebody made it. It came to somebody's mind. I think the bed you sleep on. If there's somebody that designed that concept before mass production of it started. Everything we use, you know, it may be physical products that you're getting instructions. Go and start trying those things. Start living, and live more. It's not just about designing what it is. When you're done with it, and you live more, express yourself more. When you have a thought, express it, even if it's wrong. You know, who decides what's wrong or right? Who is the teacher of life that's marking our script? Who? Nobody. It's all relativity. We draw judgments on others. Or not draw judgments on us with relativity. Relatively speaking, you're wrong. Then in 5 years, you're correct. So who told you what you're saying is wrong? What you're about to say is wrong? What you said is wrong? You can't know. You can never know. You can only express your thoughts. Live life. So when you're gone, it can be said. And it's not even about what people say when you go. It's about what was. So people will talk about what was. And we're brought here. I like to think about it like that. The way the world was, and then we were created, and we're put in the system, in this human system, to do something, to contribute something. Fear puts you in a cage and lets time pass. Shyness, those type of things, timidity, all those things put you in a cage. And then life is going. And then when somebody tries to kill you, you're running away from death. So why are you trying to live more life? And then say you're starting better. Procrastination also. There's some of the mental models that can help us to come out of those cages that wastes life. Because that's what time is. As a component of life, it's time. People are scared to die, but are not living either. Let's also take advantage of the times we're in. These are golden times. But like nobody will hand good to you. You're the one who go and find it and then dig to get it. You're living in golden times. You make a video and you don't need to tell anybody you made a video. You don't need to ask people to watch the video. The video gets watched because something has been created that finds the audience for that video. 10 years ago, 20 years ago, that was not available. You know. So there are people who make videos while doing what they do for money. So they sell a product, they offer a service, and that's all they are making in the video. And then, free of charge, the machine that's been built, that is completely free, carries that video, that message, and goes to find people that like things like that, which are exactly your customers. Because what decides what pops up on your For You page on any platform right now is interest. So whatever you're interested in, every time you open your phone, that's what you see. So if you're making a product as a manufacturer or as a business, you want to know who your customers are. 2025, there is a machine called the algorithm. There is an AI powered machine that samples people's behaviors, finds what they like, and then takes your product to them. And it's free. But you know what's even more exciting? You can even get paid again to advertise a product to your customers. That will pay you again. That's what the platforms are doing. YouTube is paying people money to advertise themselves to people who will also pay them money. That's good. But what I just said is not very simple. Because you're going to have to train the machine. The machine is available by making content, making whatever it is, and sending it out there. And then it tries to find them, tries to find your customers, tries to find after a while it finds them. Once it finds them, it takes everything you make to them. 100% of it. Your job is now to package the product properly, make it interesting. When they say the thumbnail, the title, when they say the thing that's inside, the content itself, and then the platform pays you for doing that. And then the customer that the platform helps you find also pays you for the product that you're showing them. And it's a payday everywhere. It's a blessing. Let's take advantage of it if we can. I saw a video that said the black sheep is always the greatest in the family, almost always greatest in the family. And if that is true, what do you think has increased the chances of the black sheep? It's just the fact that they are living their thoughts. Simple. That's what has made, if statistically that's correct, the person who is written off in the family because he's stubborn, doesn't listen. These same words I just used, that's the superpower he used to achieve the good status. You know, all of society is controlled, and the control starts at the smallest functional unit of society, which is family. So if a person refuses control and they are labeled stubborn and they don't mind, you know, then success is somewhere around the corner for them. Because everything is not for everybody. Everybody must not wake up by 8 a.m. Everybody must not wake up by 6 a.m. Everybody must not wake up by, everybody must not. You know, waking up early is a good thing, maybe a good thing. But early may be different for different people. So if somebody comes and rings the bell one time for everybody and says everybody must wake up by 6 a.m., that's a human being trying to be in control of other human beings. So if somebody refuses that shell, now you can see why they became successful. You know. So am I saying you should be stubborn, you should refuse control? Maybe that's what I'm saying. Maybe to add to your weaponry on this journey of life. You need everything you can get. You'll agree with me. So success on your journey. YouTube channel. The word channel. I was talking with my girl one time and I asked her to define the word channel. And channel means what you may know it to mean in the sense of YouTube. But it also means, my mic is on. It also means medium. So before the advent of the internet and social media, it was television, and the people who were making the television stations are doing their best to be the most interesting station for the viewer who has the remote. And then when they have to do anything that's not that interesting thing, they ask you to don't touch the dial. You know. So when they are back from whatever it is they went to do, they break, they start delivering again on what will keep your attention. The reason why news media became powerful in that season was because it was discovered that human beings react to fear much more. We also react to things that make us laugh, things that make us happy, but fear as well, because of instincts, survival instincts, you know. So when you put on certain news media, it's explosion, war. You think the whole world is at war, you know. And what the funding for those businesses called media houses comes from advertisement. We didn't know this until now when it became our turn to be media houses ourselves. You know. So everything that is going on in that television station, 100% of it is geared at making money. And the lifeline for all of that thing you're seeing is the advert, those breaks they ask you to not go away. Some of them tell you, let's pay people. But they're taking money from somebody, they have to advertise specific product. And they find a way to do it so well. Sometimes they probably put pressure on those people because check those adverts we used to see on TV. It used to be interesting to you. We want to even watch those adverts. And then a lot of those adverts converted. Some of the products we are using when we were younger, or purely from things we saw on TV. So the adverts were powerful. They were conversing. But then they came behind very interesting whatever. Now it's our home. We are now media houses, each of us. And we should pay attention to the medium we are using, which is the thing we are doing. Whether it's you're doing push-ups, whether you're talking, whether you're doing music, whether you're writing, whether you're whatever it is you're putting out to the world. Again, it is a medium. That's what it is. It's a channel, you know. And when you establish that conduit, when you establish that channel, you can pass anything through it, and anything can go through it. You can pass a product through it when you have established it from your the, point source to the end where you want it to be. Once it's established, you can send anything through it, and of course, money will come back to you through it. Your turn. what we're doing right now is supposed to get attention to us in an attempt to build a community of people that live healthy lives because they work out every day, every morning. A community of people, some of which have been waiting for a partner to inspire them. So subscribe and turn on the notification so that when we're live, you will know we're live. If you set an alarm, we are live every morning. It depends on where you are, where you're watching from. But when you subscribe and set your notification, it alerts you, pops up on your phone properly, where you can know you are live, so you can benefit from, benefit off of what you are doing and do what you said you would do. You already said you would do some things at the beginning of the year. You are bringing back all those resolutions so that you can get them done, you know, so that you get your confidence back, get your health back, get your, all of that back. But myself, I'm doing 1,000 push-ups every day. That's extreme or borderline unhealthy. The reason is it's an attempt to get attention to the page. I was doing a lot of, I'm a medical doctor, you know, and I make a lot of content that is very valuable, life-saving content. If you have a look at the page, go through, you see, you know. But again, subscribe. But all of us have been thrown into the meritocracy of having to show up every day. That's consistency. Package our content better. That's quality. Grow and learn as we do it, so that we can get attention. So no matter how valuable you get content, no matter how good the content is, you have to still go through this. And so while on this journey, I found out that the biggest or the most, as somebody who does 1,000 push-ups every day, try to get attention. And if you check on this stream, I think I have about 2-3 persons on the stream. And then the videos on the video on demand, when we're done, usually 500 views, 300 views, 20 views, as the case may be. So in while making this journey, the whole journey as a whole, as a creator, somebody's trying to add value to people, he's trying to establish a connection and a conduit to people. I think my most valuable asset is following the creative instructions I get. If I would do 1,000 push-ups today and every day, something as extreme as that, and I will not go viral, it means that the effort-based approach to chasing this thing is the reason for that's where the burnout comes from. So that's trying. So I have seen, as the word I've seen for the past 6 months, thereabout, it's been coming. When they say flow state, enter flow state. Flow, what I mean by that is you're living life to where life is happening. You're not trying to force something to happen. You're just living and things are happening. Almost the things you want to happen. Yes, that's very true. That's true for something like consistency. If you're consistently suffering, consistency, you will not benefit from it because it will have diminishing return. If you have to constantly push against resistance, that is increasing. You grind to a halt at a point. So you want to be in that state of flow. You see, flow means we keep going. So there's consistency in it. Then in flow state, you're creative. So creativity and art and quality also go together. You see. So in that state you are, you see. So that's what it means is you can't play with inspiration. You can't. I have decided. So I'm sharing my thoughts. I'm not feeling anything. I'm talking to myself while I'm also expressing thoughts. I've decided if I get an instruction, if I get an idea, I just go ahead and try it out at least. I was listening to one, I think it was ASAP Rocky, that said, when did it become not cool to try? So it's the audacity to try that has created some of the icons we know today, even after they've long after they've gone. You know. So I've learned that the hustle and the effort and the, you know, something is better than it. And what it is flow. And flow comes from paying attention to inspiration, paying attention to the instructions that hit your antenna and executing on them. You know, that allows you to have hits. People who make music, they are in the studio, they are not sleeping, they are working. You see them talking about those type of things. But you can see hits here and there, you know. And there are people who have hits all over. People have a couple of them. When you ask, you find out that it is when they entered flow state and in that expressive, you know. And sometimes they can knock things together and copy something and create something and ride the wave, ride the trend and get something out of it. But that's a lot of effort. That's not sustainable long term. Again, because you're pushing against resistance, that will keep increasing, you know. But when you find your rhythm and then you're looking at results, you're doing looks like you're doing little or nothing, but results are everywhere. That keeps you coming back, you know, almost like rewarding consistency. So that's what I learned. So while I'm doing what I'm doing, it comes to me naturally, you know, even though it's difficult to do that every day, 8,000 push-ups every day. You know, I've also learned that I can't do anticipation because that's what will oil what I'm doing. That's what will make what I'm doing easier. That's what will get me this audience faster. That's what will get me these views faster. That's what will get me this money faster. That's what will get me, you know, while to make this what I'm doing easier to where I will not have to do extreme things again to get attention. Get attention to the creative ideas that have come. They're not coming for me. They're coming for people. So I'm supposed to be a channel, a conduit. So when I allow it to flow, of course, a lot of it will come as a reward for allowing people to be blessed through me. So in return, of course, the person is also blessed. Hope versus faith. Hope is what has sustained humanity. A lot of human beings. And the opposite of hope is despair. Hope is for some people. So that's what has kept them going. But faith is a different thing. Faith is not hope. I was having a conversation 2 days ago about this. And faith is substance. The Bible says it is the evidence of what is not seen and the substance of what you hope. So if you hope for something and you have faith, you have that thing. Because the definition is it is substance. So sometimes we mix it up and we think when you have faith, you're believing for something. When you have faith, you have that thing. Because it says faith is a thing, the substance. So when you say something and somebody tells you where is evidence, and you can bring evidence. What does that? That's it. That is the end of the conversation. Usually, it's the same thing. When you say you hope, you believe in God for something, and somebody says where's the evidence, you bring faith. Because the vision says it is the evidence of what is not seen. So when you express faith, faith is, they usually say people who understand these things about perceiving and the manifestation, those type of things. You know, the manifestation thing is we do it every day even without knowing. It's just that we do it with small things. When you walk to anywhere, walk in a room, you already know that the floor is this is not water. You're not walking into water. you know, and then you know that your next step will be a successful one, and your next step is that knowing is almost in the second you want to make that step, you're 100,000%, if there's anything like that, sure that this step will make you be a successful step. You will not have an injury, you will not, and then you make, and then people have injuries when they when walking. Some people slump, people hit their legs, but every time you walk, you're sure, then you're sure, then you're sure, and then making those steps. That's what faith is. Faith is that thing that happens to you when you're about to make one step. You don't have any doubt in your heart that this step is landing and that you're not having an injury after it. You don't even think about it, you just go ahead. Because the knowing is as if it's 100% definite. That's what faith is. So don't get it twisted. If you have faith, it's done. If you're somebody who is trying to build a following, you're a writer, you're a creator, you're a leader, you're somebody who, again, the words build a following. So you're not a teacher. Even if you're a teacher, you can do the correcting. When you're a teacher in a school, it means that, I think the word is by obligation. The students are supposed to be there and listen to you. I'm talking about the type you earn, where people come and congregate around you without being asked. You know, you express a certain level of influence that draws people in. There's only one way to do it. It's not two ways, it's one way. It's by being yourself. You know, when we express ourselves fully, ourselves, not our influenced self, our actual self. When we express ourselves, of course, that person abhors, that's not the word, repels a certain group of people, or totally. And sometimes when you look at that group, you don't even, they're not a group of people you want to be around yourself. It's as if the selection happens by itself. Then a certain large number of people, all across tribes, across the world, across nations, will be drawn towards that person. So if you're somebody who's trying to build a following, want to build, you know, somebody like Robert Greene, for example, wrote a book called The 48 Laws of Power. That's one of the most popular books in recent years, amongst a couple of other books. So just so you don't think this is for, it's for almost, if you are interested in, and when he wrote that book, look at if you listen to that man talk and read the words in that book, they don't look like it's the same person. He looks physically like somebody who is a bit frail, timid. But look at the principles he laid down. Look at the cut truths he laid down in that book. So while he was in his room alone, he was not thinking about you. He was thinking about the truth. And in the most purest, unwatered down form, he wrote those words down and then published them for you to see. So whether you think these things are so mean, these things are not so whatever, you're having those thoughts after you've paid for the book. You're with the book inside your room by yourself. You're not influencing anything. The book has already been written. So it's the same way. You're supposed to, as safely, as not hurting the next person as possible, completely be yourself. Because what happens is when you're yourself, people can now see, and the ones who are for you, your tribe, will come in your direction and stay with you in numbers. See what we are doing. We are ourselves, then we drift. Then we just come back again, then we drift this way. Then we come back again. And where are we drifting to? We are trying to be this musician. Then you come back. You're trying to be this politician. Then you come back. And the problem is your sense organs. You're looking at them so much. We are listening to them so much. And then when I start trying to copy them. So it looks like you cannot consistently keep a following because you're not. The people are trying to follow something. Like I said, look at the Tupac. You look at that man, that's the man there. Jay-Z said something, said, wherever you are, there you are. That's what it should be. Look at you and say, see him there. Some people, you look at them, you understand, you're just seeing something, you're not seeing them, they're not there. Then you hear something, you're like, this person has two natures or three natures. They're not just themselves, because they want to blend in. How can you blend into? How can you be 500 different persons? You will exhaust yourself. You can only be one person, at most two people. If you have to do to play, you know how exhausting it is to play a movie. People ask people who act, people who have to wear a character. They do it for a season and they stop and rest because it's exhausting to step out of yourself like that. Look at how good you feel when you get to your house. After all the, once you come to your house, you feel free and you take your bra off, throw it off, you remove your clothes. You see, you're going back to yourself. That's simple. And then this is the feeling you should be in every time of the day. People should be walking around naked. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying people should be walking around naked. Not physically now. You should unclothe yourself so people can see you. Of course, within the boundaries of what is safe and doesn't hurt the next person as much as you can. To the best. But sometimes you're unapologetically yourself, you hurt the next person. And it's not, somebody soft is around you, and what's coming out of you is love, and it's tough love. And it's now, that's on the person, that's not on you. Mm. All right, we lost the footage. We've been struggling with the network to try to get it back. We lost the picture, sorry, not footage. So I hope you can hear me. I hope people can hear me. I hope people can hear me. The chat. Is anybody in the chat so I can know if you can hear me? I hope people can hear me. I'm struggling to get the picture out. I think the network is so poor. So rather than take time, be sincere to yourself, be accountable. We are here to inspire you, we're not here to show off. The idea is to make you see what is possible and do something. When you scroll on social media, your that entire the action of scrolling, what is making you to scroll, apart from an attempt to relax from an stress, is search for inspiration. So when you come and see somebody doing 1,000 push-ups, you drop and do 10 of those. And then tomorrow you come and do 10 of those again. And then next tomorrow you do 10 every day. Also 10 and you increase it. You add one every day or something. At the end of the day, you are inspired by that. I did something about the inspiration you had from that. So this is intended to inspire somebody. It's intended to make somebody move in the morning before they start hitting the day's stress. You want to do your hardest work first. And this should be your hardest work. If it's not your hardest work already, you grow the resistance you have to face every morning in terms of exercise. Use a plan. Find something, you know, but start the day strong so that you've won the day before you even started it. See you guys on the next stream.